outside right now, little electrical stuff. So don't panic and take care of your animals. I'm sure they're rather concerned right now. I tell you what, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm. Ready on the lights, on the action, on the camera.
Yeah, I think we are actually. We're quite ready for that. Barbara, you got it all sorted?
I have.
And we're doing it live right now. For those folks that are joining us live on Facebook, maybe later on joining us on YouTube, if you are, don't forget to sub, thumb, bell, bingo. You know what I'm talking about. Welcome along, folks, because believe me, this is exciting for me. It's really a packed week. In fact, we're almost booked up for interviews all the way through to Christmas time right now. And it is so important to be able to cover every part of the world, including New Zealand. It really is. Next week, we're going to South Africa, I think it is, Nigeria. Also, later on, we're going to, you're shaking your head?
We're going to Kenya.
Kenya. Knew it was somewhere like that, maybe just down the road from Nigeria. Yeah. Anyway, also we're going to West Island, which is really, really cool. We're going to be catching up with folks over there. Also Canada, America, England, Australia, you name it. We're going to be going there between now and Christmas time. And not too far away, actually, 6 Fridays away. This one coming up is a Black Friday too, by the way. But it's always nice to come on home and talk to a Kiwi. Well, kind of a Kiwi. We've adopted him as a Kiwi. He's English, I've got to be honest, but he's legally a Kiwi now. Welcome back, Paul. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and thanks very much for having me on your show. It's great to connect with you guys again.
Yeah, look, 4 years it's been since we last hooked up. I was looking at the photo of the last time we were together. By goodness, don't we make a right pair back in those days. That was the Everclear concert.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, was that the Power Station one?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely stunning show too, by the way. Loved it. I really did. Just while I've got you here, maybe you might remember this.
Yeah, mate. That's a good idea. Yeah, mate.
We still use that very often. Now, Hangar 18. You're Hangar 18, literally. How's that going since the last time we met?
Yeah, it's been very interesting. Actually, the last time we met, Hangar 18 was no more. So just a little brief history on that was I started Hangar 18 in 1996, many moons ago. And we went through till about late 1999 when we disbanded. So that was what I call Hangar 18 version 1, which was a three-piece band. And then, as you know, your listeners won't, but you'll know that I started a management company and then later on a record label, and I've been basically working behind the scenes for many years. Late 2017, I decided to get Hangar 18 back together. And that was mainly a decision because I work with a lot of artists all over the world. I advise them through the label, I consult with them, I manage them, and it's always hard for people to actually not do as you say, but take your guidance, shall I say. So I got a little frustrated with that because I've got some great acts, didn't quite take the guidance that I thought they would. So I thought I'd get my own band back together and then I can guide my own band the way I want. So basically, late 2017, formed the band again, which I call version 2. Been through a few members and stuff, but long story short, we ended up back in Asia, which is where we were very popular back in the late 90s. In fact, in the late 90s, we actually played the Unity Handover Festival, which was the iconic show in Hong Kong in 1997 when the English handed their rule back to the Chinese. And we opened a festival called the Unity Handover Festival, to which there was about 8,000 to 10,000 people in the audience, and it got simulcast before the lovely internet was around. But we got simulcast onto live television to over 500 million people. So that pretty much cemented us as good marketing, and people obviously knew us around the world. And then pretty much after that, a couple of months after that, we toured the Philippines with the band Silverchair from Australia. And it's a bit of a sensation, actually. That show was pretty big, and the story was, in the auditorium it held about 5,000 people, but there was about 2,000-3,000 kids outside that couldn't get in, so it was a near riot. It was a great night, and it's sort of gone down in Philippine music history as one of the gigs to be at. And then fast forward to 2018, we're up in the Philippines again, touring around Asia. And I hook up with MCA Universal CEO up there, a great guy called Ricky, and who actually, some of his team and people I knew up there actually still remembered the show. But long story short, Hangar 18 got signed to MCA Records with Universal, and I did a 15-country deal up there. So it's basically for Southeast Asia. So that was basically Hangar 18. Got them back together. Then we worked on the next album. And it was pretty much good to go. Last year we recorded all the album. We just had a few tracks left to do, and flew to Australia in March of this year to finally finish off the album. And of course COVID hit. So I arrived back here on the 20th of March, just in time for the lockdown. And ever since then, Hangar 18's been on hiatus and on hold, purely for the fact that Hangar 18 is the whole marketing plan and strategy that I had for the band was based on live performance. And as there is now no live performance, I don't really want to go any further with that band until I can actually get out and tour them again internationally and actually push that angle, because that really is the strength of Hangar 18, I feel anyway.
Paul, sorry to interrupt you there, but I fully understand. I get the same story everywhere in the world. Literally artists right now, basically no shows. It's killing the industry very, very well right now. But, I get asked a lot of the time too, when it's all said and done, when it comes back again, will it be a new norm or will it be a bit of the old? Well, I'm kind of thinking it might be a little bit of both. Everything and all the knowledge that we've put together to this point will be amassed and come on back again with a new twist to it, I feel.
Yeah, I think it's a really good time for new artists at the moment as well, because we're all sort of on the same level playing field. So, if you are U2 or Justin Bieber and whatever, and you could go out to play to 50 or 100,000 people a night, you now can't. So they have to use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything, and YouTube, everything that's open to you, me, and every single other artist out there. So it's a great time for music. I feel the playing field sort of leveled off a bit, and it's a good time to get new music out there. Hence why I've been working on some new projects of my own.
Exactly. Now, that's a good segue, my friend, because first of all, I want to thank you for Haddon. Absolutely love that young man, and very, very interested in following him as we go through his career. Literally got a few contacts that are very interested in him coming out of the UK. But having said that, they're also looking at you right now. Had a chat, believe me, and want to talk about that later on. But first of all, tell me about the Nevermind project.
It's an interesting one. So this basically started during lockdown. I was going through my computer and April, May and stuff, and just coming up with some old files. And actually I bought a new computer, so I was actually looking at a lot of old files on my old computer and seeing which ones I was going to put onto my new computer. And I came across this track called Got It Done. And the version that I've just released, under a different band name, being Nevermind, was actually a demo for Hangar 18 called Got It Done. So it's an old demo that I did basically to be able to play the band, to show them how the song went and how I'd written it and stuff. But it polished up quite well. So I had it mastered in lockdown and played it to a few people that I know, and they sort of went, yeah, that's all right. So I basically just decided to release it. Originally, I've released it as sort of a one-off standalone track, hence the Nevermind. I sort of came up with the name. It's obviously a bit of a skew on the Nirvana thing, because the song obviously is heavily based around Nirvana and gun control in America. But yeah, depending how it goes. I mean, I've got loads of other demos that I could actually polish up and release, and maybe this might be my pre-Hangar 18 sort of project for a while to release and keep me busy whilst Hangar 18 is parked.
Well, Paul, I got to be honest with you. We've played it a number of times since we've received it, and well, we haven't said anything to anybody. Literally, just played it. It blew up our internet. It really, really has. Everybody wanted to know who, what, when, where, how, and this is going to answer it. It really, really is, because believe me, everybody out there is literally wanting to know more about it. Now, Got It Done, get that. How did you come to the lyrics?
Well, it's an interesting track because I actually was, in my head, I had a song about gun control, and I wanted to write a song about gun control. but obviously as well, I'm also a bit of a Nirvana fan. You know, have been for many years. And so I wrote this song, but in the back of my head was thinking about gun control. But it all came out around the story of obviously of Nirvana. But I purposely left out Kurt Cobain as being like the center of the story, because obviously everyone knows who he is. So in the song, I actually left that out. And it's a bit like I sort of saw that as like gun control, that in America, everyone's got guns, but no one wants to talk about it. Like I say, it's like the elephant in the room. And the inspiration for the song actually came from several trips that I made to the US, and several times that I've been in and around guns in America. I mean, the first time I went to the US, into LA in 1991, and I was staying at the hotel. Everything was fine. I woke up the next morning, couldn't get to my car that was parked just across the road in the car park because everything was sealed off. And apparently some mad gunman had come down to their equivalent of the dole office, the welfare, and had shot 7 people, I think, and then he was shot himself by police. I think he killed 1 or 2 people, but it was a mass shootout literally right outside my hotel. And when I got home to England, I was saying to people, wow, did you hear about that? And what? No one ever heard of it. And it actually only made local news in Los Angeles. And I'm going back to 1991, but it made local news. It didn't even make national news in America. And it was like, so these things were happening all the time. And then there was another instance. I was, another tour when I was going across America. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was chatting to the young waitress in the morning and stuff, and we got talking about guns, and I said, do you have a gun? Yeah, I've got one in my handbag. And she went and got a handbag from at the back and showed me a handgun, and then proceeded to tell me that you know, her dad taught her how to shoot guns. And I was really intrigued, and why are you guys so heavily into guns? And it's to protect ourselves from the government. And of course, back then I'm thinking, why? But of course, since Trump's come into power, you can actually understand why you need protection from the government. But we won't get into politics. But I don't normally explain the meanings of my songs. In fact, I've only got 2 songs I'll probably ever explain to people what they mean so far. This is one of them, and there's another one I wrote about Alzheimer's, about my mum. And I only explain those 2 because the listener might not actually understand the meaning behind it. But if people want to listen to this song and say, hey, it's a homage to Nirvana, then that's okay with me as well. So.
Yep, I absolutely get that. And gun control, it is crazy. Not so long ago, I was watching a documentary on Michael Myers and guns and stuff like that. He was in a bank where if you open up an account, they'll give you the gun of your choice. Now think about that. Really, you know, that's rather weird. It is. Right here at Galaxy 107 FM, for the very first time, we're going to announce, yes, this is the Nevermind project with, of course, Paul Marshall right here at Galaxy. He has got it done. Gosh, that weather sounds pretty bad out there. How's it up your way? Is it?
Put that down, because like me, you've probably heard it too often now.
No, it's because I want to be able to hear you, my bro. Yeah, I've heard it a couple of times, yes. Believe me.
Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you for your contacts in the UK and stuff. That sounds very interesting. I'd be more than interested in that.
Awesome.
And I'll keep you in the loop and keep you part of that for sure.
Awesome. Now, I tell you what, Paul, what I'll get is Barbara to set up a group meeting with you and Haddon, myself and Barbara, and I'll do an introduction. Believe me, you're English, you understand what he's like then, you know what I mean?
Tell him it's on Messenger.
We speak the same language.
Yeah, it'll be on Messenger. Okay, we'll set up a group.
It's fine, yeah, no problem at all.
Later he will want to talk to you face to face on Skype and stuff like that to get to know you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But believe me, bro, I don't introduce many people to John, I'll be honest with you. He's got his own business and everything like that, but every now and again, when I find an artist much like Haddon and much like yourself that's getting a reaction that we're getting, I think it would be remiss of me not to, you know what I'm saying? So
no, thank you very much, that's great.
Awesome.
Hey everyone.
And believe me, he is connected with Warner Brothers. He does have a radio station, he has podcasts, he does. You could end up over there in Devon playing in front of a big castle for a 3-day festival, you know what I mean?
Is he from Devon? Because you know I grew up in Devon.
Yeah, he's from Devon.
There you
See,
go.
there you go. You got
really well.
I grew up in Barnstable, North Devon.
Okay, well,
yes?
yeah, no, but we won't hold that against you.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the
Let's go
from.
back to the desk.
Village.
Yeah, I'm not sure what village he's from, but yeah, interesting story
Devon, yes.
John's got with his life too. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and well, got it done, of course, from the Paul Marshall studios, and including Paul Marshall himself, and of course the Never Mind project. Got a little bit of feedback coming back here, get rid of that. Glad to have you guys along, and it is an absolute honour to be having not only the man himself, Paul Marshall, joining us right now and talking about his new projects, but Paul, you were saying that you might be polishing up a few more in the future. Will you come back again?
Yeah, I've got a few recordings I've been looking at the moment that, as I say, originally were sort of demos for my main project, Hangar 18, but since being on hold, yeah, I'm just looking to polish a few up and see how we go.
Well, I tell you what, drop them on by us. Literally, we would love to be able to continue doing this with the Nevermind project or anything else you've got going at the time. That includes, of course, Haddon. Love Haddon, I mentioned that. Really do. If you've got any other little projects like that in the pipeline, please keep us informed. We would love to be able to work with you on those.
Well, the funny thing is in August, to say, I bought myself a new computer and I set up a home recording studio due to COVID, obviously, and not being able to tour. And yeah, I had sort of about 30 or so songs that weren't suited for Hangar 18 or Nevermind. They're more of my pop side. And yeah, so I started recording those. Now, I can pretty much do everything. You know, I write the songs, write the lyrics and everything, do all the music and everything, but I cannot sing. I mean, I can sing, but I wouldn't like to expose, you know, everyone to it because, yeah, it's not good. It's good enough for my demos. So then I've just engaged with 3 people around the globe. So I've got a lady out of Los Angeles, I've got a guy in Nashville, and I've also got a great guy in London. So what I've done is I've put my songs out to them, and I've actually got another new project coming up next year called E=MC3, which is basically the pop side of my songwriting. And yeah, I'm quite excited about that as well. But we'll talk about that later, because I'll come back to you in late January with that, and we can have a chat and a look at that.
Absolutely brilliant, Paul. I agree. I can't sing. Well, actually, I sing tenor, or 12 miles away from anybody that can hear me. You know what I mean?
Everyone on Facebook, Paul's
I tell you what, it's only a few days away from the 30th, which is Black Friday, by the way, here in New Zealand. And a good friend of mine is celebrating his birthday on that date. Rather strange that, to be honest.
Oh, no.
Suits his personality too. But after the 30th, Paul, I'm going to send you a video of something. Now, this has got a very interesting story I think you might be interested in. We met a band coming out of Norway. A man by the name of Gay Miranda manages this band. He's friended us, and we've been following him now, well, almost a year. You know what I mean? And believe me, he's produced some really fantastic stuff. He really has, for this band. So we introduced him to another band that we knew coming out of Canada by the name... Now, the band out of Norway, by the way, is the Viking Queen. Coming out of Canada is a band called The Mighty One. Now, to start with, when I met Tim Steinreich, it was literally on Facebook, and when I contacted him, he goes, "Who the hell are you, and what the do you want?" And I just basically said, "Look, I'm a humble DJ, and I kind of like your music. Can I play it on the radio?" Before you know it, we've struck up a really cool friendship. So I set a challenge for these two bands together and said, first one to come up with a Christmas song. Now, these guys are metal. These guys are metal, literally, you know what I mean? And I introduced them together. Well, before you know it, they've actually done it together as a collaboration, you know what I mean? This is absolutely fantastic. The only thing is it's never going to sell a single video because, well, I'm on it. You know,
I'm sure it's brilliant then. It must be brilliant if you're on it.
Well, it's brilliant after I'm on it. I gotta be honest with you, it really is. But I'm going to send you this maybe Friday, you know what I mean? Because believe me, it is absolutely fantastic. Now, we want these guys, once this COVID virus thing is over and done with, to come here and play in New Zealand. Would you be interested in working with these guys as well? Would you get up on stage with these guys?
Oh, for sure I would as well. Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Because I tell you what, we've got a couple of ringers going in there too. Dave Evans, the very first lead singer of AC/DC, is going to be taking the stage. And also Kevin Martin from the band Candlebox is coming to be a part of it as well. So literally this is going to be one heck of a tour up and down the country. Plus we're looking at Australia as well. You never know, my friend. Together we might make a couple of dollars.
You never know. Actually, on that front, I was just about to launch a new business this year as well, which actually was actually slated to start in March, of all months to start. It's a business I thought of a few years ago called Terrific, and it's a new way of touring international artists and taking all the risks out of touring. And we had the first contract in place with an American band that I was bringing over, and yeah, unfortunately, COVID has actually shelved that at the moment. But once we get past COVID, yeah, we can definitely talk, and I can definitely be of assistance to a lot of international acts.
Well, I tell you what, Paul, keep in touch with Barbara. She's the manager of Aurora Entertainments that, you know, brings bands into the country. She does logistics and everything like that, trying to get these all done. Both in the same boat right now, not doing shows and tours and stuff like that. We would love to be able to collaborate with you on this, literally, because we have a mountain of shows that we have in mind coming up over the next, well, foreseeable future, once the foreseeable future is opened up to us again. So, Paul, please keep in touch with us with that. I can see that we're going to, this is going to be a fun ride.
It's always fun.
Absolutely.
It's always fun.
Absolutely, and believe me, love the Everclear thing. We really, really did. We should do something together again very, very shortly. I'm very excited about that. Looking forward to introducing you to John. Now, you know, we will do the introductions, whatever happens. No harm in talking. No harm in talking. And that's what I said to Haddon as well. But whatever happens from there is between you guys, if you know what I mean. I wish you all the best because, believe me, John is a very, very close friend of mine. I trust John explicitly, and he has contacts all the way through the UK, right down to literally Bangalore in India. And in fact, we're going to be in a magazine in Bangalore. This edition coming out, isn't it? Plus, John also has a magazine. He's put out a couple of editions himself right now that we've been in. I don't know if he's sold any, literally because of us, but we've been in that as well. Very, very successful man is John, so I don't want to talk him up too much. You know what I'm saying? But I would be honoured if I could introduce both you and Haddon to my friend over there. I'm sure you're going to get on, Devon. You guys, you know, blood brothers almost, really, aren't you? Neighbours. So you know what I'm talking about. Hang in there, my friend. But right now, back to Studio B. Here is David Essex, and hold me close.